How are we all doing, guys? Before we start this video, first off the bat, I apologise if I seem a little bit out of breath. I've just been training just before this and quickly nipped in here to do the video. So if I sound a bit out of breath, that's why. So just bear with me. Right, so today's video, I thought I would... Basically, I had an idea. I did the favourite gaming memory community challenge the other week. And I thought, why not actually make this a series? So, because, we've all got plenty of gaming memories, and I know I've got a few. So I thought, well, I'm going to do a series on the channel instead. That one sort of sparked the idea for me. So I've got a few gaming memories that I'm going to share with you over the next few weeks. And technically, this will be the second episode because the community challenge will be the first. So, yeah. Right, so, okay. So I'm going to cast your mind back to 1997 when the PlayStation was at the height of its power. And basically, there was a game that I wanted. And I'm not one of these normally that has to have a game when it releases. But on this particular occasion, this was one I really wanted. And that game was Street Fighter EX Alpha. Hell of a mouthful. Don't know what it is with Street Fighter games. As they go on, they get longer, don't they? So, so basically, in a nutshell, it was coming out. It was due out, I believe it was the end of November, 1997. And I grew up in Gravesend, and by that time, all the good game shops had dried up. So the only place you could really go to get good games was Lakeside. Basically, when Lakeside opened, it pretty much killed Gravesend Town Centre. I mean, it ended up much worse when Bluewater opened later on down the line, but it initially started when Lakeside opened. So there's me and a friend of mine, and, at the time, neither of us had our own transport. So it was a case of getting on a bus and going over to Lakeside, which was never an easy thing because they only ever run once an hour in each direction. So you had to get your timing bang on. So right from the get-go, we miss a bus. So we had to wait 55 minutes for the next one. So we had to hang around in Gravesend Town. And like I said, at this point, the town centre was a bit of a shambles. There wasn't much around. So 55 minutes was a long time to wait because there was nothing really to do. Eventually, we get the bus. We get over to Lakeside. We make our way towards the game store. And the game store that we was heading to, I forget the name of it, but it was down in a little market bit. Basically, as you went through Lakeside, there was a stairway that went down to a little market sort of place that was outside. It had like a sort of lake, if you like. Well, not a lake, like a big pond on the other side of it. And it basically was there. It was indoors. And there was lots of little like sort of kiosk sort of shops, kind of like what you see with pop-ups now. And there was a gaming one, and they always had some really good stuff, and they quite often stocked a lot of stuff that even if you did find another gaming shop, they wouldn't have. I mean, in Lakeside, you did have game and all that lot, but to be honest with you, this little kiosk was the best place. So we head straight there to get the game. Get down there, go to buy it, because I've seen it on the shelf. I haven't noticed there's a sign underneath about pre-ordering. I've took the case to the desk, and he said, "Oh, you're pre-ordering, are you?" I said, "No, I want to buy it." And he said, "It's not out until tomorrow." I was like, "You're kidding." So at that point, we've suddenly realised we got the date wrong. We're a day early. So we're sort of walking away, heads down, a bit disappointed, travelled all the way to Lakeside, missed the bus, had to get another one, get all the way there, and then find we can't have it. Well, I think the guy who owned the shop must have took pity on us a bit, because we did explain that, we'd come from Gravesend. We couldn't get back the following day because we'd both be working. And, this was the only time we could get it. We didn't know how else we'd managed to get hold of it. And I suppose because it's a kiosk and he had a guaranteed sale, he took pity on us and he broke the rules of it. So he sold it to us a day early. So I actually had this game a day earlier than anybody else did, which was quite a result, to be honest. And you can imagine I was really happy. And I said to the guy, like, I can't thank you enough. Like, you know, thanks for all your help, because I don't know when I would have got this. So this is the good part of the story. Obviously, the bit at the beginning was a bit rubbish, but this is the good part. Unfortunately, it doesn't really go too well from here. So we get the game, we hang around the lakeside, get a bit of lunch, you know, mooch around some of the other shops, and then we go to get the bus. And we find out we've missed the bus. Problem is, it's not an hour's wait, it was the last one. The times had changed to the times I had written down. So now it's great. Now we've got to get a cab home. And I don't even want to go into the cost of that, but it was expensive. So we've gone all the way to the lakeside. We've got a game. Yes, we got it early. That's a result. But we now had to fork out, I think it was something stupid like £22 for a taxi between us. So the game's now cost us extra money, you know. In fact, it's cost my mate as well, and it wasn't even for him. It was for me, the game. So, you know, it wasn't good. And then anyway, we get back, excited, bung it in the PlayStation, and then we played it. And yeah, disappointed is not the word. Other people will probably have different opinions about this, but in my opinion, it wasn't a very good game. I'd been a big fan of Street Fighter for a long time. You know, all right, the first one was bad. It was bad. But when you had a Commodore 64 version, you didn't really notice it so much because it wouldn't have been very good on the C64 anyway. Street Fighter 2 come out, great game, you know, and then you had different versions of it, you know, like Super Street Fighter, etc. And then let's not forget, about a year before Street Fighter X Alpha come out, you had Street Fighter Alpha, another really good game. I mean, that's one of my favourite Street Fighters, really good, fast-paced, excellent game. So coming off of that, and then going on to EX Alpha, I was disappointed. And I'll explain why. The controls were clunky. The gameplay seemed slow. The characters looked awful. Especially Zangief. I mean, my God, I'm going to put a picture of that up actually right here so you can see what Zangief looked like. It just looked absolutely terrible. Whoever designed Zangief in that game needs shooting. It was terrible. So, yeah, there's a picture just up there so you can have a look. It just wasn't very good. And I think the reason why it wasn't very good was because before that, of course, you'd had Tekken out. And I'll be honest, I mean, this game, Street Fighter EX Alpha, was inferior to Tekken. Tekken was a much better game. In fact, Virtua Fighter, which was also, I mean, you know, in comparison to Tekken, Virtua Fighter wasn't as good. But if you compare it to Street Fighter EX Alpha, I'd say it was better than that as well. Like the pace of the game was better, the controls were better. So yeah, I wasn't a big fan, and I'll be honest, I played it that day, and I don't think I ever really went back to it. Might have had a couple of goes here and there, but I never really had a good go on the game because I was disappointed. In fact, if it weren't for the fact that I'd paid that and I got it early, I probably would have chucked it because I really wasn't happy afterwards. Like, you know what it's like when you're a teenager, you know, if something don't go your way, you get quite irritated about it. And I did. Like, it was a terrible game. Like I say, other people might have different opinions because I know there are some people who like it, but I also know there are some people who dislike it, and I was definitely one of them. As a result, I never bought the follow-ons because I didn't want to. I have heard the follow-ons were better, but you know, it was already tarnished for me. I didn't want to after that. And of course, then you had down the line, you had Street Fighter EX Alpha 2, which was a great game. So it just seemed to me that you was better off just staying away from EX altogether, and I did. Yeah, so that's one of my gaming memories. Like I say, I should have known really it was going to turn out bad because look at what happened leading to it. You know, we missed the bus, we got there, then we find out we're a day early. You know, luck was not on our side. I should have known at that point when we got the game, it was going to get worse. Like I say, trouble always comes in threes, doesn't it? So I should have known at that point that it was going to be bad. And then, of course, we got out and we'd missed the bus. We had to get a cab home from Lakeside. That's quite a distance, you know. So everything was against us. It's almost like the universe was trying to say to me, Do not buy this game, Lee. You're going to hate it. And I should have listened because the universe was right. so yeah. So anyway, like I say, that's just my opinion. Others may disagree. But if you do disagree, let me know in the comments below what you did like about it. Because, like I say, it'd be interesting to get other people's point of views. Because, like I say, I didn't like it. But I know there are people who do. So it'd be interesting to know why they liked it. Just to see if maybe I missed something, So anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I hope you enjoyed my gaming memory. There will be more. And basically all there is to say is like, share and subscribe, and also comment. Like I say, comment, let me know if you did like this game and why you liked it, or if you didn't and why you didn't like it. And also make sure you hit the all when you click the subscribe button. That way it'll make you aware of all of our videos and future live streams. And until next time, take care, stay safe. Nerdy Geezer out.